Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dozenspeed Answers Comments Live for July 26th, 2026, where the idea is to simply stream my computer screen while responding to viewer comments in real time, which not only sounds excruciatingly boring, but it's virtually unheard of and practically impossible for any normal human-propelled YouTube channel popular enough to be monetized for. This should make the 10th episode of this questionable experiment, and incidentally occurs exactly 1 week after the last one. If you haven't watched any of the first 8 installments of this project, then good for you. You're better off not wasting any time on them. They're all pretty unwatchable for one reason or another, and if you really want to know what they contain, I suggest reading the YouTube AI summary feature to get the gist and save some time for yourself. Unless you need to hunt for your own unanswered comment, or answered comment, should I say. Hopefully with practice I can make these a bit easier to ingest with this list of agendas and objectives. Allow me to pull this up here. That's not it. Of course, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. You can see what we have here. Number 1, intros, apologies, and disclaimers. That's this bit here. Number 2, the responding to comments bit. That's why you would expect anyone to tune into this, but that's to be determined. Number 3, upcoming video forecasts that I may have on the horizon. And then section 4, petty complaints, usually stuff I have about YouTube that is very minor and, petty complaints. And number 5 is an instruction to tell myself to plug something towards eventual financial gain. That's the part I don't really like and is unfortunately necessary, and so I'm working on that, and I'd rather not. So if you guys would just alright, I was gonna make a joke, but it sounds so rude and callous I can't even bear to make it now at this time. And then number 6, interact to some degree. If we get anybody to show up to the live stream, maybe we get a chance to talk to them. Now, that's pretty much here. Let's see. I guess that's about it. So we're going to get on to the main event and answer some comments. If I click the right tab, it should be this one. Hooray. Very good. Alright, only 2 comments in the last week here, so this won't take very long at all. The first one from 6 days ago comes to us from, it looks like Michelle Boy, and it is on the historic tour of St. Louis's second oldest church, St. Mary of Victories. One of the more noble videos, I believe, in my collection. I'm pretty proud of. It's a great time capture and piece, featuring on-camera interview with the pastor of the church at that time, who just does a phenomenal job. This is a great piece and feather in my cap, in my opinion. Very glad to have done it, and it's one of the more popular videos. Certainly draws a little bit of a crowd, perhaps part of the quieter crowd, but it's going to be a little hard to follow. I've read through this before, pardon the throat clearing. They write, St. Mary of Victories, patroness of Paris Church, where priest had locution, I'm not sure that's right or wrong, to consecrate his failing post-French Revolution church to the Immaculate Heart. Father dead in people and miracles multiplied under our confraternity of the sorrowful and Immaculate Heart, honored with 3 Hail Marys daily. Do this for Fatima, exaltation of Mary's purity of intent. Daily Rosary for Fatima, peace through Catholic Russia Plus. I might be pronouncing that word wrong. It's Fatima or Fatima. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not super fluent in my religions. But this, as far as I can tell, seems to be a positive, religiously minded comment possibly run through a translator, possibly from someone through Russia, so I don't really fully understand it, but it doesn't sound like it's negative or anything, and so I'm happy to leave it up here on the video. We'll go ahead and give it the heart, but I don't really have a response, and I'm not sure if I put in my usual joke about it being answered on a live stream would really be understood or received properly. So I'm just going to skip that on this one to be safe. Part of the reason of my confusion is you get a comment a lot of times. You can look up what that person's interested in on their YouTube channel, and it doesn't seem to correlate with the interest in an old church history. It's primarily playlist of musical artists, so I'm not totally sure what to make of all that, but it's okay. We don't have any sort of biases of that nature. See, we have a comment from Morticia Jones commenting, "It's a beautiful church." It is a beautiful church. Apparently, they have watched that video before, and I agree with you. And thank you for showing up tonight. Okay, so there's that comment. And then the only other comment comes to us from George Harrison fan, and it is on the unupdated 1970s era J.C. Penney, and that thing in the parentheses is French, and it's supposed to read real audio version or natural audio version, something like that. It could be lost in translation. And the reason it says that is because the other, this was sort of a have your cake and eat it too type of situation, where I wanted to make a music video. I used a YouTube audio library song called Pisco Sour, and I thought it went well with a 1978. And so I made the same video, but with one's the natural audio from the store, and then one is with the music. And I just wanted to have both and make both. So I made it like that. And this is the organic sounding one. So, got to give them a heart. And then I did prepare this, the current live stream comment. And we'll go ahead and give out one of these. Oh, and I have to answer the question. It's also, the question is, where is this? And I think it's still there. I haven't been there since I filmed this, sadly. Been meaning to, but there's so many things to do. This, I'll just put is/was, because I don't know how this comment will age. This was the J.C. Penney. They probably knew that. They don't need me to tell them that. At the Alton Square Mall. And this is a very old video of mine. One of the first ones. I think that's video 15. So 2017 is when that was filmed. Seems kind of overdue there. All right, that takes care of that, and we will reply. And as you can see, we are back here to the comments we answered in the last week's live stream. Just in case, I can possibly connect these out in a series, doing one per week at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights. I've done 2 in a row now. This makes 2 in a row. Barely worth it with 2 comments, but hopefully we can get some more comments next time. I encourage you to write some. If it's not too off-putting, that I'm going to pull them out in front of everyone and answer them in this manner. And of course, I would love for people to go and find old, lesser watched videos. There's a few good ones in there. Perhaps I could I could suggest to you the if you go to my playlist section, the least popular videos, they're all videos that don't even have 100 clicks on them, and some of them are really close. So if anybody would be kind enough to go down there and watch some of those, there's some real unsung heroes that don't even have 100 clicks on them yet. So that would be very cool to me, and I'd be glad and look forward to answer some of those. So I need to pull up this, I believe. All right. As far as upcoming video forecasts, I have nothing to say in this regard, except I did mention previously once or twice about a very special live stream that was coming up, and it was supposed to come up before this video, but a whole week went by and I didn't get it finished, and also I decided to change it into a video itself. So hopefully that will come out this upcoming week, and it will be in the can before possibly we have another Sunday night live stream such as this one. Well, no promises. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I feel about it, and if anybody comments. Only got 2 this week. That seems like a hint, but I don't know if I'm very good at taking hints all the time. I sometimes think I do, or I like to think I am, but I'm probably not. So unfortunately, in this particular slot of this particular edition of this particular video series live stream thing, I don't have anything upcoming. Now, as far as petty complaints, I am ready for this. If we go, no, not that one, this one. There we go. Here's my petty complaint. I meant to cover this last time. If you look here on my dashboard, I've got a message up here from YouTube talking about member pricing. They're updating all the pricing to reflect latest exchange rates, and I have a couple more weeks to work this out. Now, I've looked at this a little bit, and what I'm going to provide here, I'm just using this as an example for a general complaint. And well, first, this is kind of a cool thing to look at. I think, for one, it's insightful. It helps you see a little bit broader picture of the world here and what's going on. And if I'm interpreting this correctly, fairly confident I am, this would really indicate the American dollar is strengthening in a lot of parts of the world, sometimes really hard. Like, look here, Argentina, $20, which is the equivalent of $2. So my membership levels are $2, $5, $10, etc. And that was equal to 20 Argentinian dollars. So that's 20 to 1, right? No, well, 10 times. It's 10 times as much. Here's the $5, and they wanted $50 for Argentinian money. So that's also 10 times. This is not 10 times. That's pretty wild. So there's not even a logical curvature to this, because theoretically, if we're going 10 times $10, it should be $100, not $400. So what's up with that? And then, of course, look here, $25. 10 times $25 should be 2,500 Argentinian dollars, but it wasn't. It was only 1,000. So that's kind of odd. I don't know if these straighten that out. I haven't thought that hard about it. I'm just kind of noticing live as we go. But I think my startling observation was it went from 20 Argentinian dollars currency to 1,400. Now that's a jump. And it's kind of cool. You can look through Austria euros, no changes. The euro amounts are pretty much dollar for dollar the US amounts. Obviously, they're not really that exact in real life, but for all intents and purposes of this membership program, I guess they figure it's close enough. The amounts make sense to people, but they're all green, which means it requires more of their currency to buy U.S. currency. That should indicate the dollar is strengthening. The Argentina one was really crazy. Here's one went from 10 Egyptian, that's pounds, isn't it? To 60. So lots of adjustments here. I don't see any in the red. They're all green. The dollar is apparently getting stronger all around the world. I didn't see Iran I'm trying to say Iran and Iranian at the same time. I didn't see their currency in here. Maybe that's because you're not allowed to. Like, for example, there's no YouTube allowed in China, so there's no China currency on here. But the whole point of me showing you this was my big complaint about YouTube is, you see how it's a window within a window, and you can only see part of it. I have 6 levels, which, they have 6 slots for, but they don't all fit on the screen. I have to slide a bar. And we have all these countries. Why can I only look at 3 at a time? Now, last time I looked at this, and I was going to say something, the United States level was locked in, and they only showed 2 other countries, which is even more annoying. Why do they do this? I would like to be able to grab and configure these windows all throughout the site, because it does this window within a window nonsense and shielding and masking over, blindfolding you from seeing the picture. There's just so much wasted real estate on these pages. It drives me crazy. That's my rant about that. That's the sort of complaint you can expect in these live streams going forward. This is an interesting kind of behind the scenes look here at my Earn on YouTube page, showing that I have 2 members. Same 2 members I've had since November. But hey, that's consistent at least, right? And then also, can I point out this to the audience? Is my live stream working? I'm getting a circle over here. Alright, hopefully it's still running. But I want it, as soon as I start talking, it starts circling like it's lagging again. Are you working or not? Alright, whatever. We're almost done anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, whose problem is that? Do you want me to wiggle this around? Is that the problem? I got YouTube's thing yelling at me. If you're not receiving enough video because I'm barely moving it, then you should definitely be able to handle streaming it smoothly. I've never seen that. New exciting problems. Alright, the last thing I wanted to say here was, look, they're always lecturing me on what I'm doing wrong about YouTube. Like, did you know that if I constantly mentioned the memberships in my videos that you would pay up and give me more money instead of trying to take the classy high road and be dignified and quiet about it? I should be bombarding you all the time. Hey, join my members, join my members, join my members. Just like the calls to action. And here's another thing. I can create members-only shorts, an easy way to provide lightweight content. Maybe I'm not here to provide lightweight content. And, I don't know. Get more fans excited to join by making new or existing videos members only. What's wrong with me? Why don't I like doing any of these things? Why I don't want to do any member walls, pay walls, any exclusions. I'm here to make art for the benefit and beauty of the world, and I don't feel I have a right to be a gatekeeper on even my own stuff, and I don't want to be. I want everyone to get a chance to see something and not feel that they got to be squeezed to enjoy it. So that's my problem. That's why I'm not getting anywhere with this endeavor. Not very quickly anyway. In fact, it's getting slower all the time, quite frankly. So let's go back to. Is this the one I want? Okay. Oh, well, I did plug something toward eventual financial gain. I asked people to watch my videos of the least watched videos. And then finally I was going to interact to some degree. I did think of adding another kind of a seventh feature here, but I didn't have anything ready for it this week. So we'll just hold off on that idea. Anyways, if you caught the live stream this week, thank you very much. Appreciate you showing up. Morticia Jones. And wow, that really came out to be quite a short one, but that's all right. And I'm sure there's something else I was going to mention I can't think of right now. But hey, I guess I can always bring it up next week. Take care. I hope you will all have a good week. Have a good night.